Hello everybody, welcome back to another Gaming with Killatia. And for any Xbox One owners, you probably already own the Rare Replay Collection, or I hope you do. 30 classic Rare games that Microsoft can legally publish all on one disc. Now there is a ton of games that we could talk about. Heck, I could probably do this whole entire review. Hold on, let me get out of this. Anyways, there is probably I could probably do an entire video just on talking the Rare Replay. But there's one particular game on here that I actually kind of really want to talk about. And since Halloween is around the corner, let's go on ahead and talk about Grabbed by the Ghoulies. This had to have been a difficult game for Rare to develop. I mean, after spending 8 years of being a loyal and trusted developer of Nintendo, they were suddenly sold to Microsoft quickly after finishing off Star Fox Adventure in 2002. So now, not only do they have a new boss to talk to, but now they have to prove themselves worthy of being a trusted game developers to a whole new set of gamers. Did their first Xbox game prove their worth? Well, right off the bat, as soon as the game started, there's something that really irked me about Grabbed by the Ghoulies. The combat. How do you fight? With the A, with the B, with the X, with the Y, maybe the trigger buttons? Nope. You fight with the right analog stick. The one thing on your controller that meant for camera movement, and it's used for fighting. Not only is it counterintuitive, at least to me, but it's not as accurate as pressing a button. The only real time you ever really need to use the face buttons, and when you do these quick time events, where you get scared and you have to press the buttons in the right order to catch your breath. What happens if you're unable to do these quick time events? I'm not sure, because I'm able to get through them pretty easy. Now, they do get a little bit more complex as you advance through the game. However, you're still given plenty of time to do all of these quick time events with no sweat. The gameplay does try to spice things up to make up for the boring combat. For each time you enter the room, there's always different objectives to complete, whether it's to defeat all the enemies, finding a hidden key by destroying everything in the room, or by only defeating certain kinds of enemies. Heck, sometimes revisiting the same rooms will have different objectives altogether. I mean, it's neat, but if the combat itself is boring, then no amount of varieties and different objectives is gonna make up for it, in my opinion. And to top it off, the game will occasionally give you a brand new weapon which gives you new abilities to take out enemies in new ways, and then a few minutes later decides you're done with it and takes it away from you. Geez, thank you, game. We didn't want to take the risk of making Grabbed by the Ghoulies an interesting game to play for Halloween, now did we? There's also a storyline that involved you trying to save your girlfriend from the evil Baron of the mansion. But the story it presented so poorly in this game, with lackluster cutscenes and a lack of voice acting. Two things that should be unacceptable in an Xbox game. You know you're doing something wrong when a racing game from the Nintendo 64 era has better presentation of its stories than Grabbed by the Ghoulies. Now, I know I've been ragging on this game for most of the review, but it's not a completely terrible experience. I mean, I love the cartoonish graphics look of Grabbed by the Ghoulies, the game runs at a consistent 60 frames per second with little to no slowdown, and the music can be quite catchy as well. And if you look around many of the different rooms in this game, you'll notice that there are different Easter eggs making reference to many of Rare's past classic games that aren't related to Donkey Kong. Now, it is cute, but I'm not sure if it's to remind gamers that they have made good games in the past, or to distract them by the fact that the villain of the game has so many people tied up in his mansion that you may have to question whether or not he has a bondage fetish or not. Okay, bondage joke aside, if this game was clearly meant for a younger audience who didn't understand the legacy of Rare. And the graphics does look good, and there was really not a whole lot of bugs in the game. However, a good looking game is nothing if the gameplay and presentation is boring. And that's exactly what Grabbed by the Ghoulies is. A boring game. Like, the only reason it's even on the Rare replay is that it's the first Rare game to be published by Microsoft. But even then, I still would not have put Grabbed by the Ghoulies in this collection. My final rating for this game is a D. But there is one redeeming quality to Grabbed by the Ghoulies. Its theme song. Yes, I have incredibly real taste in music, and no, I don't apologize for it. See you next time. Hey, thank you for watching my review of Grabbed by the Ghoulies. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you want to help me create better and more content, please take a look at my Patreon page. Thank you for watching.